Hello everyone, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Now, I used to start off my my magic show with a card trick, but then I found out some people suffer from fear of card tricks. It's a condition known as borophobia. Have you ever heard of that? It's a very, and so the last thing I want to do is to make you feel bad for the very first trick. That's a bad idea, isn't it? But I found if you bring out cold hard cash, people are much more interested. So here we have, look, we have $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Now, when I started doing this trick 30 years ago, $5 was quite worth quite a lot. Not so much today, but at least you can buy a cup of coffee, can't you? And what is that? Can you just check out that dollar bill? Make sure it's a real dollar bill.
Seems real to me.
All right. Yes. And we have. Let's have a look. We have $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Now, let's see if we can turn this into $10. Shall we see if we can do that? Let's have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10. Now we can get 2 cups of coffee, can't we? You know, what's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew, you don't seem very impressed, Matthew. See, the problem is, Matthew, it's that one. See, as long as you see those ones, that you're going to have problems, aren't you? You see those ones. But if you see 100, for instance, then now it's not so boring, is it, Matthew? See, here we have, look, just Matthew, is that a real $100 bill?
Wow.
It's pretty, it really is. Look, we have 100, 200, 300, $400, $500. And the cool thing is now we can buy a lot more than a cup of coffee, can't we? Thank you, guys.
Can we win that?
Now, when I was younger, I used to go to all these movies. I used to love going to the movies. I don't go so much now, and it's not because I don't want to go to the movies. There aren't so many movies that get me excited. It's just maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. But I've got a few movies here. Some of my favorite all-time movies. So, for instance, Back to the Future. Does anyone see Back to the Future?
Yes.
Yes. So this came out in 1985. I was still in England when this came out, and I remember lining up at the movie theatre. I was so excited because Michael J. Fox, who played Marty McFly, he was the coolest guy you wanted to be. And I think one of the reasons I came to America was because of this movie. Can you believe that? It was so exciting. You got to imagine this young boy. I mean, I was in my 20s, I guess. I wasn't that young, but it was just amazing. And they had a great soundtrack. Just a really great movie. But there were other movies I liked back then as well. So, for instance, Star Wars. Has anyone seen Star Wars? Yes. See, Star Wars. I remember seeing this movie the very first time, and I was so mesmerized that I watched it again. My friends left me, and I just stuck there and stayed. I've never stayed in a movie twice before, but I'm just so mesmerized. And they often say about how George Lucas, who created this, was this, creative genius. But when you saw that episode 4, do you remember seeing the episode 4 at the very beginning? We didn't know what that meant back then. And he had this long range. I mean, he was a marketing genius, very about creative genius. It's like Jaws. Have you ever seen Jaws? When Jaws came out, half the beaches were empty. That's how powerful it was. And there's lots of movies that we've got. Bambi, short, just lots and lots of movies. Now, I'm going to ask Zach. Could you help me out on this one? If you could take those, and I'm going to look away, and firstly I want to make sure that I can't see anything. Make sure they're all different. All those movies are different. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Yes. So make sure all the movies are different.
Okay. Yeah, they look.
I want you to. There aren't many movies from the last 20 years actually.
Yeah.
But there is still plenty of movies there, and a lot of them are classics. They're all classics actually. And I want you to look at one of those movies. It doesn't matter if you've seen it or not, if you love it or you hate it, but just focus on one movie. And I can't see what's going on.
Okay.
All right. And look at that movie and just get an image of that postcard, that movie poster.
Okay.
All right. Now, if you turn that card over, and on the back you're going to see a list of movies. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. Now your movie's in that list somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I want you to read that list out. But when you get to your movie, make sure your voice doesn't change. Gotcha. And also, you can read that list in any order. It doesn't matter what order you read them out. But you have to read them clearly, and I'm going to try to hear your voice over the music. So if you could read that any order, but don't make it when you get to your movie, and you make sure everyone knows what the movie is. Have you shown it to them so you can see?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can you read out the list, please?
Yes. Back to the Future. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Dr. Zhivago. Singing in the Rain. The Princess Bride. The Godfather. Psycho. Gone with the Wind. Jaws. Bambi. Casablanca, Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Graduate.
Firstly, Zach, very clear reading. Thank you so much for that. That very helps. But I feel very lost at the moment because I'm a long way from home. I want to phone home. Is it E.T. the extraterrestrial?
Yes, it is.
Zach, do you want to try one more?
Yeah, sure.
Let's try another one.
Okay.
Or would you like to pass it to Presley?
Yeah, she can do it.
Okay. All right. But you've got to speak clearly. It's very key because if I can't hear you, it's very hard. But remember, Presley, to find a movie, you've got to focus on that movie.
Okay.
And when you see it in your eye, then turn it over, and then you can read the list. Remember, you can read the list in any order. But when you get to your movie, make sure your voice doesn't change.
Okay.
Okay. Fire away.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Jaws, Annie Hall, It's a Wonderful Life, Taxi Driver, The Maltese Falcon, Apocalypse Now, Titanic, Toy Story, Forrest Gump, National Lampoon's Vacation, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Matrix, High Noon, King Kong, Fargo.
Thank you again for reading out so clearly. You know, the thing about this, I'm getting a sense, it's just a signature tune. I can't do it, but I feel like there's just a few bars and everyone in this room would recognize this movie. Was it Jaws?
It was.
It was? All right. Now, can you give the cards to Gloria, please? I think Gloria is looking a bit doubtful.
Wow.
I'm trying to make sure there's nothing electronic here. I'm just looking into the sky. So I just want you to, and if you can do it, but you have to focus on the movie first, but make sure you just look at it and get a sense for it if you can, because it's important that you at least think about the movie for a few seconds.
Okay.
Turn the card over, and remember, you can read them in any order. When you get to your movie, make sure your voice doesn't give anything away.
Okay.
All right? Fire away.
Okay. National Lampoon's Vacation, King Kong, The Maltese Falcon, The Matrix, Nightmare on Elm Street, Toy Story, High Noon, It's a Wonderful Life, The Godfather, Forrest Gump, Fargo, Titanic, Taxi Driver, Annie Hall, E.T., Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, my daughter has loved horses since she was 5 years old. I don't think she would love this movie because there's this scene that is very memorable. Is this The Godfather?
Yes. I try to trick you.
Would you like to do one more? We can do one more if you want, or we can stop.
No, we can do another. If you want
Give
me
it
to
to someone
pass
else.
it? Okay.
You can do anyone. By the way, you can give it to anyone. I don't mind. But it's key that you read out clearly because if I can't hear you, I can't. Oh, it's very stressful. This very stressful. I need a drink of water. Okay, has someone got the cards? Who's got the cards?
Your name?
Say your name.
Ashley. Okay, Ashley. If you could just, have you got a movie?
Yes.
All right, can you turn it over? And you have to speak clearly because if I can't hear you, unfortunately there's music as well, so it's hard to hear. But if you can read that list very clearly, we'll see what we can do.
Taxi Driver, Annie Hall, Apocalypse Now, Titanic, High Noon, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Maltese Falcon, King Kong, National Lampoon's Vacation, Bondi, The Matrix, Toy Story, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Forrest Gump, It's a Wonderful Life, and Fargo.
All right. Actually, thank you again for speaking so clearly because it really helps. Now, when I was a kid, when I first started magic, I had a little rabbit and his name was Thumper. And did you choose Bambi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
Win $100?
Get off the 100. It's not happening again, all right? Off the $100.
Maybe if you turn it into $1.
Here we are in 2023, aren't we? And one of the things that we're using more than any other time in our history is the internet. If you go back 30 years, in fact, there's people here who weren't born 30 years ago. In fact, a lot of people weren't born here 30 years ago. The internet, for most people, didn't even exist. And we rely on it very, very heavily today, don't we? In fact, we have our phones and our laptops and our desktops, but often we don't even store stuff on there. We store it in the cloud. Do you know what in the cloud means? It means it's on the disk at the end of the internet somewhere. It's not even in our home anymore. It's not on our device. And we have some problems with the internet, and this little device will explain to you what those problems are. Now, we've got, what have we got here? We've got a blue pom-pom, a yellow pom-pom, a green pom-pom, and a red pom-pom. All right? Now, these pom-poms represent different websites. All right? Now, the real internet has billions of these pom-poms. Just imagine all those pom-poms. Crazy, isn't it? But this is just for a mock-up. Now, one of the things that people complain about with the internet is it's too slow. You know, one website's fast, and another website's really slow. Have you heard that problem, Monica? They get very slow, don't they? And I'm going to try to explain why they're fast and slow. So can you see, let's say we wanted to go from the blue to the yellow, all right? Can you see how quick that is? It's very fast, isn't it? It's because it's got a direct connection. But let's say we want to go from the blue to the red. Look what happens. We go from the blue to the yellow. Then we go, this pipe here is called the internet backbone, all right? And we go there and we go down to the red. Then we go back up, back to the blue. Did you see that? Did you see how that was slower? Let's try the green. Look what happens. It will go the blue to the yellow, over the backbone, down to the red, up to the green, back down to the red, over the backbone, down to the yellow, and finally back to the blue. At that point you've clicked away, haven't you? See? And but luckily, because of things like caching and advanced browsers, most of the time we can move around and just freely surf. The problem is, sometimes when you're doing this, do you know what happens? You get that, you're watching a movie and it kind of breaks in the middle. You get that little clock. You don't want that clock, do you? Or you click on an image and to get to a bigger image and that breaks. Or the one we all hate, you go to a web page and you get the white screen of death. We don't like that, do we? But what happens is sometimes you get two connections firing at the exact same time and they clash in the middle. And the worst thing is, when you look inside, there's no help. There's no help on the internet, is there? Now, what do they do when this happens? They say, turn off your browser, clear your caches, and if you're lucky, you'll be surfing again before you know it. And you'll be going from the yellow to the blue, to the red, to the green, all over the place. And it's all very exciting again, isn't it? But here's a word of advice. Please, don't spend all day on the internet. Take your dog for a walk, read a book, have coffee with friends. Thank you. All right, now, do you remember how we talked about borophobia at the beginning? We're now going to do a card trick because you're all warmed up, So Gloria thinks she's going to get some money out of this, so we're fine. So this is my favorite card trick. This is called Little Bunny's card trick. Now, what was it, Nicholas? Nicholas. And what was your girlfriend's name? Bailey. Bailey. Oh, of course. How could I forget my daughter's name? Bailey, would you like to come up and help me?
Sure.
Yes. So you can stand this. That's fine. But little Bunny's going to help me. But before he can do anything, I have to help him because you see, he's just a cartoon character in a book, so we can't actually manipulate the cards, can we? But you can help me, can't you, Bailey? In fact, that's actually, if you want to stand, where you stood was probably a good place because you were protecting, people could not see really. So firstly, we start with a deck of cards. This is the first deck of cards I brought out, all right, before you say anything. Just in case you start nodding off, all right? Can you see? Now, Bailey, you can see all those cards are different, all right? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break this deck into, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4 roughly equal piles, okay? Now, we're going to choose a pile each and then we'll discard the other two. So which pile would you like, Bailey? This pile there, right? And I'll choose this pile there, and we're going to get rid of these two, all right? Now, you're going to do all the work. There's going to be no collusion between me and Little Bunny. So pick up let's pick up this pile here. And give the cards a shuffle, if you could.
Not very good at shuffling.
That's okay. That means it's going to be a shuffle I could not predict. I will be doing another show after this if you want to look away, because it will be the exact same show. See, it's always part of people trying to sneak in, you see.
Okay.
Okay, and put that pile down and shuffle that pile there, please. The key thing is you're doing all the work, baby, all right? And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you're doing it, all right? Okay. No one's going to blame me when this goes wrong, all right?
Okay.
Okay, now, I want you to cut some cards off that pile there, just cut a few, and turn them face up in front of this pile here. Oh, no, just as a block. That's okay. As a block. Just like that. Just like that.
Sorry, really?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Fine. I'm sorry. It's my British accent. People get very confused sometimes. And can you cut some cards off this pile, please? Turn them face up and place them in front of that pile. All right. Now, join this pile. Put that pile on top of there.
Face up?
Yes, face up. That's right. And this pile on top of there. And can you cut those cards and complete the cuts? It's very high stress, isn't it? I'm sorry about that.
You want me to put it on top?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is mix the cards up to confuse little bunny.
Okay.
Right? And you can do the same with this pile here. Good job. And now choose any pile. All right, turn it over and place it on top of this pile. And cut the cards one more time.
Yeah, very high stress.
Yes, imagine how I feel. And complete the cuts. All right. Okay. Whew. Now little bunny's going to take over. You're okay now. Little bunny's going to take over. But you're going to need to stay because I want you to read where it's on. But you can see you made a real mess, haven't you?
Yes.
Can you see there's a mess there? Yes. All right. Okay. Now, so Little Bunny's Card Trick by Bill Goldman. Now I'm going to read the words. I want you to make sure that what I read is what it says there. Okay, so it says, one day, Little Bunny found a box of playing cards and threw them on the floor. Hello. Can we say anger management issues for Little Bunny? All right, throw them on the floor. Okay. Let's see what it says next. Little Bunny counted exactly 13 face-up cards. Now hang on. You did all the work, baby, didn't you? How would Little Bunny know there's 13? I think he's guessing, isn't he? Let's see how well he did. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 face-up cards. There's no other face-up cards.
Wow.
Wow, Little Bunny. Now we're taking it a bit more seriously, aren't we? Yes. Okay. This now is a bit of a page turner, isn't it? I see Nicholas is very interested. What it says, 7 cards, and remember, I want you to make sure I'm saying, if I don't say these words, I'm not making these words up. 7 cards were black, and 6 cards were red. How would he know that, Bailey? Let's see how well he did. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black cards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red cards. Bailey, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a real page turner, isn't it? Okay, Little Bunny saw that all the black cards were clubs. Now, how can they all be clubs? Surely he's wrong. He's got that wrong, hasn't he? He must have that wrong. What do you think, Presley? He must have that wrong, yes. Yes, I think he's wrong. We got club, club. I think this is beginner's luck, isn't it? Club? How is he doing this? Oh. Look, we were so close. They were all clubs except the 4. I'm sorry, Little Bunny. Except the 4! Are you kidding me, Little Bunny? Look at that. There's the 4 of spades. And look at this nice message. And we all live happily ever after. Well, thank you very much, guys. Hope you have a very, very happy holiday. Thank you, guys.